We finally have a proper toilet, the throne as they call it. Obviously we still need to build the privacy section, but for now we're happy to have this at least. So it's a compost toilet, so we'll be collecting all of the waste, mixing it with sawdust, and in 6 months you will get compost. So we've got 2 toilets, so you use them intermittently. So you use the first one and then you leave it for 6 months, you let the compost decompose, and then you use the other one in the meantime, and we will switch between the 2. So we'll actually be able to use the fertilizer on all of the plants that we're growing. It's a bit gross, but this is life, the circle of life. It goes around and around, whether you like it or not. Isn't that right, Buzz? Salmon knows, don't you, Salmon? We've had to put cement on the ground because it was too wet. We hired Chato for 1 day to use his expertise to get us set up. It seems like forever ago, but we actually originally dug out this area for the toilets in May, back when Ed was here, doing it all by hand.
Cuando las 2 gotas están quietas, hacen un nivel. Este nivel está con aquel. Vaya, vamos a correrlo aquí en el trazo. Tú me vas a dar este punto, bájate con la manguera hasta allí. Cuando esté quieta, yo marco aquí. Ahorita. Mira. Ahí está. Punto. Mira. Este es el trazo para 2 letrinas. El trazo mide 1,82 de largo por 1,22
De ancho.
de ancho. Esto. Pero me voy a retirar un poco porque voy a ocupar esto para bastoneado, para meter la varilla.
Okay. Luke has come all the way from Phillips Island, Victoria, Australia, to help us build these toilets.
With rocks.
In between recording shots, I also helped bring up a few stones. After Buzz inspected our first concrete mix, we were given the green light to start bringing up buckets to lay the floor of our new toilets.
No os lijáis mientras pescáis, que no moriráis si viviréis a pan.
No hay más.
No, pero está bien, así lo vamos a dejar. Con la mezcla lo vamos a arreglar.
Entonces,
Buen plano.
Shay has come all the way from Vancouver, Canada, to help us build these toilets.
People gotta use the toilets.
This is
Most important thing.
How many blocks have you brought up, Luke, do you reckon?
At least 400.
Well, we only ordered 100.
Ya está plano. Listo para pegamento de bloque.
Every single bucket of sand and block had to be carried from the entrance up to the shed, which is about 50 meters uphill. Thankfully, we were treated with some lovely fresh fruits to rehydrate and get that sugar rush. Chato is back on the brick lane.
Primer ladrillo de la letrina.
So we've got bastones again, these iron bars, and a bit of mix and blocks ready to go. And another bucket of mix courtesy of Luke, who helped bring up all of these blocks so wonderfully, barefoot. With our help, Chato managed to get the first 2 runs of blocks done in the first day, which meant the next 4 would be up to ourselves.
¿Viste? ¿Viste qué fácil?
Sí.
Ahora lo ponemos. Mira. Queda cabal. No cuesta.
From the shed to where we built the toilets was another 20 meters, which meant every single bucket of concrete and mix had to be carried up that hill, which was a great workout for everyone that got involved. Shay arrived on a red-eye flight, took a taxi from the airport straight to the site and got straight into carrying buckets and blocks. Fair play to him.
traer más agua para cambiar la mezcla?
Sí. Más agua, por favor. The first thing we had to do in Chato's absence was make the formwork so that we could lay blocks over the doorways needed for clearing out the compost. This went reasonably okay for our first time laying blocks.
It's level in any man's language. Maybe don't get this on video.
Brian is a fellow Castlebar man that happened to be passing through the area, so he hit us up and came and gave us a hand for a couple of days with his mate Dan. So between myself and himself, we managed to lay all the blocks while the other boys were making the mix and bringing it up for us. I didn't get much footage of us actually laying the blocks because it was stressful enough trying to figure out what we were doing on the fly, never mind recording it at the same time. The boys are professional concrete mixers already.
Oh yeah.
After just a couple of hours.
Only took a day. Alright.
He hasn't stopped. Did you even have breakfast, Ryan?
No. Come on, Buzz. We've got work to do. Come on. Get up and do a bit of work, will ya? We're not paying you for nothing, you know. Do you think that dog food is cheap?
Dave came back from New York to put the finishing touches on the toilet block. Nice. Obviously the end result was never going to be as good as if we had paid Chato to do the whole thing. But this way we had great crack imagining people falling into the shit pit because of our poor workmanship. And in the end it was only ever half a story high, so I don't think anyone's life is really in danger, as it actually turned out grand, even though some of the walls aren't perfectly straight. Making mud here to plaster the walls of our new toilet block. It has to be really well mixed. Normally you do it with a drill, but Luke invented this shovel technique. The blister maker, he calls it. We actually need to plaster the inside because there's going to be a compost pile inside here. So to make sure it's fully watertight, we're going to apply a layer of plaster. So haven't actually ever done this before. Neither had we actually laid blocks before, but we got something reasonably okay. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. It's not going too badly. I forgot that you're actually supposed to wet the wall before applying the plaster, so that the wall doesn't absorb the moisture in the mix. Charlie comes down every second weekend to give a hand out at the project, whereas all the other guys just happened to be passing through. It was a bit of a coincidence that they all arrived at similar times. We were not expecting to have 6 people on site at once, but it was pretty cool having people to help out and just hang out. Going forward, we hope to have up to 15 people living on site helping with all the various aspects of the project, but we're just not quite ready for that yet, as we still don't have running water. These are precast concrete slabs especially made for these toilet designs, and they cost $12 each. While Andre was here, he didn't just help us put on this concrete slab, he also got to work coming up with some designs for our logo. We still haven't finalised it, but here are some of the prototypes. If anybody has any feedback, please let us know in the comments. In total, we had 8 different people working on these toilets from 5 different countries. We have Ireland represented, Australia, Scotland, Slovakia and El Salvador. Alright. Toilet. We got a bit of mix on first. These are precast concrete toilets and they cost $14 each.
Which way are they sitting? Facing the door, right?
Yeah.
Finally!
Woo!